first of all, how was your summer? But are you pleased to sort of be back amongst the squad and in pre-season action now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the end of last season was really strong for us. We finished with a lot of momentum, and it almost felt like the season had finished too early, like we wanted to continue. And that's really been my mindset in this off-season, is the continuation of progression, really. How do we get better? What do we need to do to get better? And really looking forward to having a pre-season with the players. I said a lot since I came in the end of October. If you split the games into 3 blocks, the first 10 games were excellent, over 2 points per game. The second 10, it was very difficult. Obviously, we had some challenges with that, not excuses, but real challenges in terms of injuries, suspensions, etc. And then the last 10 was really strong, over 2 points per game. So it was a really good start from where we were at the end of October. But as a coach, it was the first time that I was really having to firefight week to week and not really implement everything that I want to do. This pre-season gives me a great block of coaching time, grass time, without the interruption of matches, where we can really nail down the fundamentals and the DNA of this football club and what we want to stand for moving forwards.
Yeah, how much are you relishing, obviously, this week and beyond, like you say, working week in, week out with the lads, no other distractions, not just restricted to classroom work, and getting out on the pitch as well and other stuff?
Yeah, well, all of that really. Last season, obviously, was disappointing for many people, but we can't waste it now. So we have to learn the lessons of what we went through last season and use them to motivate us moving forwards. The lads are really hungry. We're in a really good place. I think the football club in general is in a really good place, and as I said, we just need to build on the momentum that we managed to create come the end of the season. Yeah, this is a crucial period for us. Number one, to get the players as fit and as sharp as possible, but really to coach and train what we want to become as a team. What's our identity? What do we want to be? And I want to get us to be like the Blackpool that I know. You know, the Blackpool that I know and love, the one which attacks, fearless, front foot, aggressive, intense, intimidating football. We want to create a really hot environment at Bloomfield Road, make it incredibly difficult for the opposition, and go and win away matches. And yeah, from what I've seen so far, the players have come back in great shape.
Obviously, there were disappointments last year, but the way it sort of panned out, there was enough of a scare thought, sort of like you don't want to be in that position again, but also enough of a good run at the end to sort of give that bit of momentum, that bit of confidence. Was it a perfect blend to kickstart something?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, like 2 out the 3 games, 20, 21 out the 31 games I had in charge were excellent. We can't lose sight of that. But also there's a huge desire and hunger to make sure we're nowhere near that end of the table again. It wasn't nice. It wasn't nice for anybody. And yeah, we managed to get out of it and pull clear. And at the end, it looked very comfortable. But there were times during that middle period in particular that it felt really difficult. And we don't want to have to recreate that this season. We want to make sure that we're at the other end of the table, fighting for things, fighting for promotions, etc. Look, I'm not saying we're going to get promoted, because I think that's a difficult thing to do. But what I am saying is I want us to be the best version of ourselves and have clear progression from last season.
Out here, is it the perfect mixture for you? Like, you're part of the pre-season camp, you're part, the atmosphere with the lads, but you're not the one doing the hard work like you did as a player?
Yeah, look, I know how difficult these weeks are. I've experienced a lot of them as a professional football player. And yeah, obviously times have changed, pre-seasons have changed, and it's almost finding the balance between the core traditional values of what pre-season is, and with also some innovation and some 2026 methodology. That's how I see it, really. We have to move with the times, but also respect the fact that, to recreate what we want to recreate on a Saturday, we have to train it here. I love having the first week in pre-season because we're able to set the tone as staff. We're able to give the players complete clarity on what's expected. We get them 24/7, which is very rare during the season. So, yeah, lots of hard work. The players are really engaged. Yes, they'll have some free time as well. It isn't a prison camp. But when they are working, they're expected to work really hard. And as you've seen, they are really doing that.
You've also been able to sort of begin putting your own stamp on the squad by getting people in? Obviously, you got one player who you worked with previously and another one who's new to you. So how pleased are you to get them over the line before coming here?
Again, like we have to have with recruitment a clear idea of what we want to be as a team. You know, what does that look like? What are our core values? What's the DNA of the team? And then we need to recruit to that and players that we know can recreate what we're trying to recreate on a Saturday. And with Imi and Dion obviously I know really well, but I've watched Imi a lot. Two players that can produce the kind of football that I've just spoken about, what this club stands for. Really good athletes, really intense. Dion's had a history of scoring a lot of goals at this level, has hunger, has desire, and Imi has impressed me from the moment I met him. We had a great conversation. We sold the club to him, give him complete clarity on what his position and role in the team would be, and I think he loved and enjoyed that, and that's why he managed to sign for us over other clubs that were interested. He's come here and I haven't seen anything different. He's top of the data every day. Dion's at the top of the group in terms of the running, and both are adding the technical aspect as well. So, been really impressed with what I've seen so far.
How pleased are you to reunite with Dion? And does he have something to prove after obviously disappointing spell at Huddersfield?
Well, he's felt that he has. You know, he had a great period with me at Bolton where he scored a hell of a lot of goals. He is a goal scorer. He's a number 9. But he also stretches the opposition a lot. He doesn't give defenders a minute. You know, that high press that we want to create, he's excellent at that. So that's, you know, the reason we've brought him in. I'm excited to work with him again. He knows this club as well. He's been here as a junior. You know, when we were during that period of, you know, 2010, etc. Dion was a young player at this club, so he understands what that means and what it felt like. And he's hungry to do well for Blackpool, and that's the kind of player that we want. Just needs everyone's support, and I'm sure he'll score lots of goals for us.
On paper, the squad's pretty well stocked. How much do you feel like you do need to do this summer?
Yeah, obviously we need to fine tune what we've got, and that's what we are trying to do. I think the really important thing is some continuity. Like, again, speaking about last season, the 6-7 months that I've had has given us a head start in our learning. So this season we've got continuity. We've got a lot of the same players under contract, so they understand what I want, how I want to work, what I want to recreate, what the intensity is, what that looks like. And we have to take advantage of that. You know, continuity in football is something that can be really important because you very rarely get it. It's always the coaches that seem to get fired and never the players. So, yeah, as I said, the fact that we know each other well now, the fact that we've had some success together in 20 out of the 31 games that we've had, we have to follow on now and just add layers to the stuff that we've already learnt, which already I can see we are doing.
Last year there was high hopes with some of the big name signings. It probably didn't work out for them individually through injuries and missing so many games. Could they really be like new signings this time around and kick on and build on what the little things we did last year? Yeah,
I mean, it didn't work out then, but it's not the end. Football always gives you another opportunity, and we've got that opportunity this season, and that's the way we have to see it. As I said, for long periods of last season, no one really enjoyed it. I probably enjoyed the last, 10 games. But other than that, it was very difficult. But as I said, it's not the end. We've got another chance now. Everyone starts on 0 points again. It's a blank canvas, it's a clean slate, and we have to attack this division like we believe we can make a splash in it.
Obviously, you've kept a lot of the same players, but there has been some departures. Obviously, James Husband at the end of his contract. Fletch chose to go to Huddersfield, and then obviously Ryan Finnegan. So obviously, players who have different circumstances for each player leaving, but any thoughts and obviously the...
Yeah, I mean, firstly, I can't speak highly enough of the three of them. It was a pleasure working with them day in, day out. It's player churn, player turnover is something that happens in football. But the three of them were brilliant for me while I've been here. Obviously Ryan played slightly less, but I enjoyed working with him every day. Fletch is amazing, scored so many goals, just a brilliant person, and I wish him nothing but luck. And Hubby the same. We had to make some difficult calls and difficult decisions this summer because we felt like there are some tweaks that we need to make. With so many players being under contract, the way that we could create some room and space in the squad is by some sort of player churn and trading, and that's the route we went down. So yeah, hopefully long term we've got those decisions right, but nothing but respect for what Hubby did for this club, for what Fletch did for this club, and as I said, Ryan was a pleasure to work with when he's been here.
There's also been decisions to make on the coaching staff. Obviously, Tomo came in at the back end of the season. He's here with you in Spain. Does that mean that he's going to be here for the foreseeable?
Yeah, look, as I said, again, Tomo has this club in his blood. He understands what it is and what it looks like. He knows me very well. He's a really good person for me to bounce stuff off and communicate with, very experienced. And going back to the word continuity, we finished the season really strong. Tomo was a part of that along with the other coaches. Dobbs and Cranes have been amazing for me since I've come in. As I said to you many times, just because we finished the season so strong, the process didn't change. Our process started from day one. We believe in our process, and everyone works very hard to create wins for this football team every Saturday. We're just a small part of that. I'm a small part of that. Dobbs is a small part of that. Tomo is, Cranes is, but together we're a very strong team, and that's what it's about. There's no individual that wants all the plaudits. There's a togetherness in a team there that is long lasting and has a lot of history. So yeah, I love the people that we've got, even the lads that you don't necessarily hear about, the S&C team, the physios. They all work so hard to try and put the players in the right headspace to go and play on a Saturday. That's our job as staff, and then on Saturdays the players have to go and perform. That's the nature of football. But I'm really happy with what we've got. I'm really happy with the balance of the staff, and yeah, hopefully, as I said, we can attack this season now.